In fact, the sitting is dangerous than smoking. When you wanted to eat for 5 or 8 idlis, what about your 5 kilometers of walk? The furniture actually demands your physical fitness, which we have not taught when you are purchasing the furniture. The less you move, the more you spoil your heart. Movement is life. The day moment you restrict, that means we are bedridden. Bedridden means dead. And my aunt, when I want to get married, no one has come forward. They do like a barber and massage work is beautiful. Only laziness makes us ugly.
If you're someone who is interested in the field of physiotherapy, or someone who is passionate about fitness and health, or perhaps you have become a victim of occupational health disorders and want to learn more about it, then you don't want to miss this episode of Fit with Shubam. Join me as I interview Dr. Sita Ram sir, a highly respected physiotherapist with over 20 years of experience in this field. He is not only an accomplished physiotherapist, but also a great motivator who actively participates in marathon races and leads a healthy lifestyle himself. Patients who have worked with him have praised his work and his loyalty, with many choosing to return to his clinic for their physical therapy needs. In addition to his clinical work, Dr. Sita Ram sir is also a professor at Durga Vaidishan College of Physiotherapy and runs his own clinic, Family Physiotherapy Clinic, in New Saidabad Colony. Dr. Sita Ram sir's extensive knowledge and expertise in the field of physiotherapy make this episode a must listen for anyone looking to learn more about this important area of health and wellness. So whether you are a healthcare professional, fitness enthusiast, or just curious about physiotherapy, tune in and join the conversation with Dr. Sita Ram sir.
So before we get into the technical aspect of physiotherapy,
Yeah.
I want you to tell about your journey of how you became a physiotherapist. And before we actually start, I want to just tell it to the audience that sir has an experience of more than 20 years in this field. So I just want to know, sir, how was your journey of becoming, like, when did it start to become the idea of becoming a physiotherapist?
Yeah, that's one thing which I saw. I also look back because it's a long way, 22 years behind. If you look into this, wonderful. Actually, I came from a rural background.
Okay.
I'm the third son of my family, like my father. Actually, what happened was I was a Telugu medium student. I came from a farmer's background, so countryside, no schools, primary education was not there. My father doesn't know reading and writing also. Such a background we came. So nobody is there to train or teach. Basically, that's my one thing. A small village having 50 houses. From there we started, my brothers and me. They started engineering, I took this side. Actually speaking, when Telugu medium student joining in the intermediate English medium, it was a tough task for me because English is a strange way. When we pass SSC itself, English is a big one. We write poetry in Telugu, but we don't know how to properly read English. Such a kind of background, and no one was there. Even primary education also was missing in my village. So we came to a near village, near town Kavali. There we started primary, high school. Later, luckily, BPC I took because everybody said BPC English medium is a big thing which nobody can. So somehow I started with that group because people say that is a tough. So I always want something to face the tough challenges.
Something like challenges.
Yes, that is the reason I took BPC. Then I thought to become a doctor. So luckily I missed my medical seat because there is a chance where I started my journey in physiotherapy.
So basically, you applied for a MBBS
MBBS, I missed it. And God's grace that I became a physiotherapist. Today I see that myself one of the proudful profession I am holding in medical history. Like 100%. Because the future of this physiotherapy is it is a future medicine. We treat everything with hands. That's the beauty here. So naturally, what happens when you are not harming anything, you are giving a physical agents for pathological disease by using an exercise. That's really amazing because when I joined my graduation at Chennai in 1994, they said that it is a profession that deals with exercise. Everybody talks about medicine for a treatment. Doctor says. And I also shocked, how exercise can treat patients. Even homeopathy gives a pill, Ayurvedic gives some kind of this thing. And I was shocked, and people used to laugh at me. And that's the where I struck up, not able to understand how an exercise can treat a problem. Today, proudly I say that this is the only exercise can treat any musculoskeletal problem. It is a world-wide research, and you can talk and everybody, even orthopedic surgeons are called surgeons, not physicians, because they do surgery, and physical therapist is a medical specialist in musculoskeletal complications. So exercise got a wonderful, it's like a capsule if you take it, and it's the only way you can reduce pain in musculoskeletal problems. That's what I realized lately now, when I look back years back to this. Amazingly, my students, they are all well settled abroad, and they are doing very big places, big doings there. And the feedback from them and everywhere, and they are very full successors. Like you started your journey. I see you also one of the key stone is going to be coming up.
Thank you,
Future,
sir.
yeah.
So you have told me that you didn't get the MBBS seat.
Yeah.
So the thought of actually going to physiotherapy, who influenced you, or how did you research about this course? Because back then it was very difficult researching also. Google was not prominent.
Yeah.
So how did you get to know about physiotherapy?
Really, one person in my urban place, only one guy who joined in this course in CMC Vellore those days. His name was Isaac Dev Kumar. He's in America today. And this man is the only one whom I found that there is a course and one person is already studying. That's how I got it, no other way. In fact, I was not even know the definition initially when I joined. And today I see that surprisingly I am in the ocean of future medicine. Like such a great horizons this profession can open. And in fact, you look into this journey, if you look cardiology or orthopedics or neurology, they all will be specialized in their own area. But all these medical specialities, you can see physiotherapist is there in every specialty, including dentistry, including veterinary science.
Agreed.
So nutrition and physiotherapy is interlinked, almost every professions and everywhere. So we are blessed in that way. In future, we are already having orthopedic physiotherapy now, neurology, like that 14 branches we have in India.
Segregation has happened.
Yeah, it's already started. And you need to narrow your journey and focus on that.
Right.
And in future, the day will come where orthopedic physiotherapy will divide into again 4 branches, like shoulder, knee, back, and
so based on the joint.
it's already started now. I feel, I look into that future. Now people are starting shoulder and knee clinics.
Just for the shoulder and knee?
Knee clinics. Yeah, in orthopedics, arthroscopy, only shoulder, knee clinics are there. Likewise, physiotherapist, when I started my journey, now you see my letterhead here, my clinic, only neck, knee, back, knee and shoulder pain. Clinic only. This 4 only I mentioned in my... this I did 16 years back. My letterhead shows that. So I visualized that you need to specialize in narrowly.
Yes.
And if I look into the pediatrics cases, I have people who are experts in that. I send to them. So I am masterizing my own area where I could do the best. That way.
Amazing.
So that's the reason why I took narrow field. Like narrowly I am working, and experts are there in different other areas where we can send, like pediatrics and all. So that's the journey I started up. Anyway, from that place to this place is okay. Not struggle is there already, but I am really happy because I'm serving. We are all serving the human beings basically, and we are giving more like energy to their lives. So, and that's energy we are also getting it, and that's what we call a joy. You can say blessings or whatever. So that's the one thing. At the end of the day, we are enjoying already as a professionals in this. Thanks for asking this. Yeah.
No, really glad to know your journey, sir, because nowadays we have a lot of information what are the benefits of becoming a physiotherapist, because a student, when he passes 12th grade, he understands what role does a physiotherapy play in current generation. back then it was very difficult,
You
but
are right.
still
You are right.
you made it
Because
here. Amazing.
I'll tell you, 98 when I came to Chennai, when I finished my journey there, I did my graduation and joined here in Hyderabad. 98 I joined in Medicity Hospital. That is almost 250 bedded hospital, only one physiotherapist.
What? 250?
250 bedded hospital, only one physiotherapist I joined. And I used to go morning 9 o'clock to evening 5 o'clock to all the floors alone without any support. I used to finish all the patients required wherever the patients referred. I used to come at 7 o'clock down. That was the day I remember when I joined in Medicity Hospital at Secretariat. And today in the same hospital, you have 30 physiotherapists appointed. That's the journey of the difference, 22 years back.
This
Because-
gives a clear picture.
Yeah, that's what I saw. And we have more than 15 specialties that time, but physiotherapists are neglected. And we showed the difference in this. We said within 2 years, I asked that 4 people appointed by me. Because I told the need. I went to doctor and told, and this is how I need because of so much work we have. So we used to generate more income, more. Then they realized that these persons require a room, then equipment. That's the brick by brick we started up. There was nobody that time. And then I looked that era and also I joined one government sector in Libya. 1 year I worked in Libya, an African country, North Africa. And there I worked with the government, 1,500 bedded hospital.
1,500?
Yeah.
So the number are increasing now.
Yeah, that hospital they're good at, they have technicians, qualified or less, but technicians, we used to have 40 technicians under us, and we used to work coolly. So I saw different side of the journey in those days, and now I can see everywhere we are narrowly specialized, and our journey, our professionals are increasing. That's the beauty.
Right. 100%.
And that's one thing. And those days we don't have in textbooks like Kishner and St. John Hopkins, what we have today. And those days we don't have those textbooks. When I started teaching my students, then these books editions have come. Then I updated my subject and went on. And today we teach almost all the best concepts released in Australian universities, or all these concepts.
I was
are
about to ask
applied,
this
yeah.
about how you used to read.
Yeah.
Especially with the publications, there were, I think, very less textbooks out
Exactly.
there to gain the knowledge.
Once one thing happened in 2005. I was taking classes on taping technique and Syriacs. And I don't have a book on Syriacs, and people wanted to teach that, I called up my student who's in Delhi, and he took a Xerox of Syriacs book from Ames library and sent 15 days later I took that book.
Oh.
And I read that book and stepwise, and I started teaching in workshops.
That's the dedication.
So that was how the collection we had. And today you just click Google and you type it, any PDF can be downloaded, any video can be downloaded. That much fast, but we have seen such journeys there in the back. There was no literature in hand. And that was the strength of us today, because we saw the struggle, we saw something deep into the, 15 days waited for a book and then read and saw the precious techniques and then started applying and learning together with students. So that's amazing, good students are made, actually in my journey, good students made me a good teacher, and at the same time good teachers can make good students, either way. So that's what I understood the journey. Wonderful.
It was a wonderful journey. Getting to know this is really amazing, sir. And next, moving on to the technical aspect, sir, you run a clinic as well, and you're a professor as well. So in your family physiotherapy clinic, so what are the most common conditions that you get, and what is a treatment plan that you have for this most common conditions?
See, we are modernized with technology today, and most of the time everybody using gadgets. And most importantly, we started using not the technological gadgets, we started using the gadgets like furnitures long back.
Yes.
Furnitures.
Yeah.
The furniture actually demands your physical fitness, which we have not taught when you are purchasing the furniture. When you start using furniture, you are disabling your body already.
Right.
Because flexibility will be your 650, around 650 groups of muscles overall, half of it is not working when you are using a chair. And the day you sit in the floor, your muscles will not elongate. So you need a external toilet, a chair, a bed, and everything height. You know, students who wanted to get something on the floor is facing difficulty. Why? Because you are not using your body fullestly. So this furniture is the one cause which disabling our body with neck pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, and back pain. Lastly, ankle pain and sometimes elbow pain. These are the 90% of the problems to everybody. One or other day, everybody will get it.
Out of which low back is more?
Low back is already there. 95% after 30 years, everybody will have it.
Okay.
Because this chair technology, what you are using, and almost your, the one who is sitting long hours without ergonomic
Correct ergonomics.
correct ergonomics, they are suffering. In fact, the sitting is dangerous than smoking. Google it, you will understand.
That's a big statement.
Yeah, because sitting spoils everything. You need a good fitness for sitting. And how dare you can sit without fitness? And that demands, you come to physio clinic, then they will realize that much problem you have in flexibility. Trapezius is just hampering you. This muscle ruins your neck. And you are limiting that movement, the day the muscle will hold you. Hamstring. Proper hamstrings length will disable your back, sciatic nerve, everything. And you are going to land up with flexion contractions, like stiffness, and that is called pain. One fine day, your leg twists also because the stiffness, and you get ACL ligament or all this thing, and that day you realize it's already fitness is very poor. What my meaning is, when you wanted to do a comfortable life, you should have a good physical elongation, like flexibility, strength, and also power and endurance. So these things are missing. Nobody is talking about this. Everybody talk about nutrition. Everybody talk about what you are eating, or have you had food. And anybody ask you exercise?
No.
That is a pair. When you wanted to eat for 5 or 8 idlis, what about your 5 kilometers of walk? The demands, oxidation, like a metabolic energy, where it will go. Otherwise, it will become fat and it will become obese. That's where we locked up. And that is the reason why most of the brain, including you and me, one day, if we don't exercise, we are going to land up with a trapezius or piriformis or hamstring tightness, which will lead to back pain, neck pain. And if you have overused injuries or less flexibility in the knee, the arthritis may establish. So these are the common things, and you have to educate them. Otherwise, if you are disabling the leg, and then naturally you disable your endurance, heart. The less you move, the more you spoil your heart. That's it. Because that's where exchange of oxygen takes place. Larger muscle groups, if you work only, heart will work. If you don't work with larger muscle groups, heart will fail. That's the reason why you develop diabetes and cardiovascular arrest. So for everything, legs are very important. They are like sports. You have to understand. We have to educate them. And those are the common conditions we see. That is the vision I had 15 years back. That's the reason why I started doing educating many. In fact, most of my patients, I tell them to go for 1 hour walk. I also do it. Because without walking, you cannot maintain your fitness. So I tell them flatly, 23 hours you have. 1 hour is for exercise. Don't think 24 hours you have. 1 hour you give it up. Then you do whatever, sleep, walk, everything you do it. Is it not? And I feel that you are doing a lot of sprinting, all your young, but and as age grows, and the fitness levels also need to be maintained, and the phases also. I will ask you retrospectively, like you also do a lot of fitness. Now tell something about it.
Yeah, like fitness in my life is there from the way I start, like from the school time.
Yeah, good.
I've been very fortunate that I've been mentored by one of the best physical education teacher, Vijay Bhaskar Reddy sir, and he has mentored me very well. So I don't know, when I started my sports journey from class 7th or 8th, before that I used to play cricket and all, but the way I started professionally from 8th class, I had that in my mind. Every day I used to get up at around 5 o'clock, go to stadium, practice, come back. So that single thing over a period of time has kept me growing, especially on the fitness and on the sports part. So it never bothered me to get up in the morning and do a fitness or something. Nobody comes and tells me to do fitness or do exercise or nothing like that. It's just that I do it because it's there from a very long time. So people who wants to do exercise right now, they know that exercise is really important for them. So what advice do you give it to those people around 23, 24 who are lazy enough, who are like not moving because they feel that exercise is a big task? You need to join a gym, you need to go to some academy, then only things will fall in place. What advice do you want to give it to those people who feel lazy about doing exercise?
See, it is all motives what you require. Self-discipline is not learned like a forcing baby. It should be a self-imposed. You should create a motives around them. So the child should realize that these things are good. Even parenting also very difficult nowadays because children are with the technological gadgets, they are becoming obese and they are not listening also much.
Right.
So you should create an atmosphere where this kind of things, you do it and show to them. Kind of that.
In the form of infrastructure or
Like parents also should impose their habits to the children. Children will learn by the parents doing. So if parents are doing, children will learn.
100%.
I think that's the best thing I can give an advice. Parents also require health, right?
Right.
They should also start the journey. And in that case, better that parents should start.
Yes.
So that children also slowly, because they will always doing they believe, not speaking. No, speak they won't believe. But when you do, they will believe it. So parents, let them start little by little. That will be inculcated. Let them take along with you for some time. Slowly that habit will be forming.
Right.
I think that's my advice.
Totally agree. And speaking about the general population right now, like especially we are in Hyderabad right now, most of them are into IT sector, and they work, as you have mentioned, most of them are desk jobs. So basically they sit around for hours together completing their projects and all. So is there any way where they can sneak some time out and do some exercises so that they don't have problems like low back or cervical
Exactly. See, I always look back at my patients. See, recently when I went to 8 hours of paper valuation, sitting in a computer, I realized how these people are working in this system for this many hours. For 8 hours itself, I felt so much, fatigue in my hands, legs. As a physical therapist, I can feel it. So the positional problem. So here what happens, their elbows are rested, they should be rested, the neck should be rested, the back should be rested, and hours of constricting their muscles, and it's more challenging. That's the reason why I'm mentioning, you have 23 hours, 1 hour you go for a walk, or mix it with cycling, or you wanted to do swimming, but do 1 hour physical activity, and then you enjoy your work. I don't deny that sitting is only bad when you are not working, exercise. Physically, if you are active, physically you give up time, go for stretching or like yoga, mix with yoga or physiotherapy exercises, or go with aerobic exercises like small swimming, cycling, dancing kind of things, no problem. But select few, mix it and do it. Enjoy it. Without physical activity, living is a challenge.
Okay.
Living healthy is a challenge. Movement is life. The day movement you restrict, that means we are bedridden. Bedridden means dead. That's my message. So almost whoever do everyday sitting job, they should read about the trapezius muscle, how it holds the neck, and how that shrinks your neck and make you painful, and your piriformis and hamstrings, which will spoil the sciatic nerve as well as your knee. And both of them, if you understand their principles of excessive movements, and you will not leave them without exercise and sit. You cannot strain them, they are very dangerous.
Yes.
I've seen people who spoil the spine, cut off the spine with the paraplegia also, both legs paralysis also. Just back pain can lead to that in advanced levels. and severe rooting pain called sciatica. This all can be prevented with just basic exercises.
So, when they're sitting for about 4 to 5 hours, like all together, like they have a project to complete, they sit. So, during that 4 or 5 hours, when they're sitting at one place, so do you recommend doing some neck mobility exercises or
Exactly.
any stretches at sitting at one place?
Yes, yes. If I am sitting like this here,
Uh-huh.
I can help my neck like this, holding the chair here,
Uh-huh.
stretch this way,
Uh-huh.
at least 4 or 5 times, can help my trapezius. If
Right.
my trapezius is happy, my neck is happy. If your trapezius is so tight, you can't help yourself.
100%.
And every neck problem, that stiffness matters. And simple movement. This is,
Simple, yeah.
yeah, if you're using similarly, try to hold this feet here
Right.
and you can stretch
Yeah.
hamstrings a bit, at least not 100%, but
Yeah.
50%.
Whatever is there
And
in
your
your
work also helps you. Such tips a mechanic can tell. That's called biomechanical engineer, who is called physiotherapist. We also call as a movement scientist.
movement scientist.
You can consult them. They are the best for that. So
Right.
you go to a car to mechanic, but you don't want your mechanics of the body, biomechanics of the body to a mechanic who is called a movement scientist, otherwise physiotherapist. You should find one. help yourself. Otherwise it's difficult. So
Right.
you have a best physical therapist in city. You can find the nearest to you or whomever. Hold them, hold their ideas and work on. And like your car, your body shines. Like softwares I'm talking about.
Right, right.
And they are really wonderful. They are doing wonderful job for all these hours of technology. But physically, when they come to patients, when you're educating them, we really feel that why they are missing this component of physical activity. Come on,
Right,
let's
right.
talk about it.
Right.
Let's share it. Let them motivate it. At least realize once after the problem, make them realize. That's a wonderful thing.
Right, 100%. Right, sir. So now moving on to some other topics, sir. Like, you have been in this field for about 20 more years, right? So how do you keep yourself updated, like staying updated with all the latest development and all the latest research happening in the field of physiotherapy? How do you keep yourself updated?
One good thing is I am working with academics, so my I don't have much problem because I teach postgraduates and I guide them, and we also have research articles and publications, journals. So along with that we have most recent techniques which are available in our libraries. So we teach the students. So that way we are blessed by the academic side as well as clinical side. Both ways. One is new updates from the workshops, CME programs we conduct. We also go to conferences, and also we have recent journals updating. And we also collaborate with other universities and colleges. We reach them. Sometimes we go to the external examiners like Belgaum, Kelly, Manipal University. So I go as examiner to them also.
Okay.
So where we can share, senior people all together share. And in fact, our own conferences, national conferences, there we hold the best. In fact, the syllabus what we teach is outdated. And now we have so many advanced techniques which we already developed and taught to the students, which you are not there in the syllabus, because these advanced techniques, if you don't teach, the old syllabus is not useful. So we are already doing it without following the syllabus, because advanced techniques are already needed, like neural mobilization, taping, joint accessory, play techniques, Maitland, McKenzie's, Mulligan, Syriac, all these things. So that's a good question, because as academician I can
You can
relate to this.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay, sir. So, there have been many misconceptions about a physiotherapist. Like, initially, it's sad to say, but people used to say as massage wala or whatever. There has been, like, way back then, about 10-15 years
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So, with the current thing, we got to know what physiotherapist's role is and how important it is in a rehabilitation team, right? So, other than that, what are the other different misconceptions that you have heard in your experience?
Wonderful, wonderful. My aunt, when I want to get married, no one has come forward. They do like a barber and massage work. They like a barber profession. That was a hurdle I faced in the year 2004.
So it was difficult to get married.
Yes. My father said, I cannot help you. You have to search for. Really, that was they openly said it is like a massaging, massager or something like a barber kind of profession it is. And today, same people take appointment and come to me to talk. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And the whole vision has changed. If they have pain, first they don't run anybody. They call me and ask, we want time or you need some. So the perspective has changed totally today. And in fact, and misconceptions of physiotherapy, previously they just give a machine kind of thing. They
This
give
also.
a kind of some small
Some
machine they'll get,
ultrasound,
and we buy that machine and put it. Why we want to charge?
Uh-huh.
That machine costs this much and he's charging this
I will
much.
only get one for myself.
Yeah,
at
1
home.
week of that stay you can buy a machine in online.
Uh-huh.
So I say that 90% of that is not physiotherapy, and people who are believing that machines, they are not called physiotherapists. So this is even I am talking about a physical therapist perspective. These machines are helpful only 10%. 90% is only a passive and active exercises, which has been educated by the therapist and
To the
also
patient.
passively to the patient on the body. So these two, because the ancient tool used by the humans are hand. The hand should be placed on the patient body and help them to stretch passively or teach them to stretch themselves actively. So
Manual
this is the
therapy
way. Yeah,
is the key.
manual. Exercise is the main treatment, and I can tell you that exercise works so much today that even you can catch up a patient on a stretcher, you can make them walk. A patient who came with a sciatic pain so badly, if you open the sciatic now like manually and stretch slowly and mobilize it, or facial joint mobilization limited, and you can make them walk then and there. That's the power we have in manual therapy. We have proved it and our patients knew about it. That's the beauty we have today. So it is, I'm telling you, for pain relief, this is a one profession and the highest profession. And if you look without a medicine and no harm, we have it. So moreover, today physiotherapists are more respected because we know that we are doing the better job, and people are believing. People are believing because the work is speaking louder. That's it. No, I don't think those days I heard you said barber kind of words are there. I also affected with that. Luckily, I got married because my in-laws, they are not well educated. So they said this is a medical profession. Okay, let it be.
Okay.
Anyway, later they realized that this is one of the best profession today, because I myself started my clinic. I also work as a professor, but I gave appointment of more than 6 to 9 people under me. They are making their living.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So you have mentioned about physiotherapists using machines, especially in their after internship or when they are students, so they go for home visits so the usage of machines and that impact on the patient is what I see in my experience right now is people when they come for any treatment, they're like, that physio has kept me some machine. Why don't you keep that machine, because it gives me relief? So what do you have to say to those kind of patients where they want machines? They are instructing the physios to use a machine.
Perfect. I appreciate. If they really wanted it, give it. No issue.
Just for the placebo effect?
No issue. Give it. You give time for 10-15 minutes, but your 5 minutes of manual work should speak louder. And that patient should realize that this 5 minutes is more important than mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the quality of work which you have to create. This is the quality of work which you have to create on the patient.
Totally depends on the therapist.
Yeah, one example. One patient came from Saudi Arabia and went to somewhere Alwal.
Saudi Arabia.
And he was in Alwal for some time and he wanted to go back to his country, and he has a relative here.
Okay.
Last 5 days he has come. 15 days he took treatment in Alwal. So initially they kept a mission for half an hour, all these missions, and went on. He has no relief for periarthritis. He came here 5 days before, and I just assessed and I started my manual work and kept 10 minutes of mission. He said, "Are you a physiotherapist?" He asked me. I said, "I am physiotherapist." No. Physiotherapy, 15 days I took is different, and you are giving it different. I said, I am sure of I am physiotherapy because I train physiotherapy students. So city you can find out me. Then it is totally different because you are doing something which has improved me. So give me 10 days extra leave letter so I can apply there, medical leave. So I gave leave so that he continued to run the 10 days here. And
so it was all about mobilization.
Yes, it is only
manipulations.
purely stretch and mobilize. Joint needs to be stretched and mobilized. These two are very, very prominent things. That is what missed it.
Stretching
They
and
missed.
mobilization.
Yeah, you give 5 minutes and do the same treatment what the others gave to the same patient, and he will not leave you afterwards. 5 minutes of stretch and mobilization can improve their ROM, range of motion, and patient placebos will only work little.
Yes.
You cannot fool all the people all the time. You can fool some of the people all the time, all the people some of the time, but not all the people all the time.
Right.
That's what Abraham Lincoln said.
So you have mentioned about this Saudi Arabia patient,
Yeah.
that guy who came. So in that context, I just want to ask you, sir, in your 20 plus more years of experience as a physio, just mention the most challenging case, the patient whom you felt that it was the most challenging in your career, and how did you deal with that, and what was the result after that?
In fact, every case is my challenge.
Okay.
Every evening I come here 5 o'clock. Every question which I will see, I see small questions and big questions. Every patient is a challenge because when I look into it, the source of the problem, pathology of the problem, identifying the problem, resolving the problem. Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're big.
Right.
Sometimes patient tells one neck pain, one shoulder pain, one knee pain, and the same time one heel pain, one single patient. That is not a challenge.
100%. It's a
And
challenge.
every day like that 30 people I see, minimum one by one. And all of them I have to touch, all of them I have to assess and treat, examine. And what is this? It is not a challenge. So, in fact every patient is our challenge. And every patient's, how you resolve the pain and assessing the pain is a challenge. And in fact, when you learn more and more, you can really play with this. And you can reduce the pain very quickly also. In fact, when you ask the challenge, whenever I treated suppose 100 periarthritis shoulder, after 100 patients, my technique will be more easier. Even if I tap, that became a glide. So that's what I want to convey. When you work more and more patients, that is a challenge and that will help you to improve your skill. Hands will be free and you can talk quickly and you can show the results quickly and powerfully. Sometimes one single elbow glide here can reduce, one glide here can reduce the tennis elbow. One glide here can reduce plantar fasciitis. One glide. One single special techniques, you can develop that. They don't touch in books. So when you innovatively do and challengingly involves with every patient, you learn it. And you develop your technique, and that will be helpful to the hundreds of patients who are coming up, and they will also teach you again and again. That's a challenge again, in work challenge.
Right.
And in fact, when you ask you challenge, I'll tell you one thing, patient wise, many times we diagnose patients, many challenges, one is one patient was lying with quadriplegia. They said 3 days back only she became quadriplegia. And doctor said to go for physiotherapy without any MRI, any CT X-ray. I said it is impossible to have a quadriplegia and this way. And how can I do physiotherapy? Because I need at least a basic diagnosis. Then I sent to NIMS. Neurologist said to do physiotherapy without any examination much. I said NIMS to go and find out what's hell going on then. And they found a carcinoma there.
Okay.
One patient was referred to me with a cervical traction. He was shouting 3 days, no relief, no pain, big shoutings. And then after about 2 days, traction, ultrasound and mobilization also not possible in that case. And they found there was heart attack, 2 days it was staying and he was shouting that. And we sent to emergency there. Because he's not getting relief. I said there's something wrong, it is not physiotherapy, please go and help him, send emergency. And one lady was diagnosed lately with radical mastectomy. She undergone later and she died because of lately they diagnosed it. She was complaining of pain here, doctors wrote radiculopathy here, and there was no relief. Physiotherapist attempted, no relief. So there was a mis-examination. So people are misreading the shows, and sometimes you diagnose early and save the lives also. So you have to coordinate with all the team properly.
The rehab.
Otherwise there will be a challenge. Rehabilitation team as well as your own, if you have doubt, call the doctor and find out, so this is my problem, I am not able to get relief. And you are good at examination, do it and finish it up. A patient, today morning when patient was crying, she said, all body pains. That is a challenge for me. Like that 10 people are waiting. One lady was crying and asking me, my heel is paining, my knee is paining, my back is paining, neck. I want to attempt to treat her, to make her relief. So I made her comfortable to lie down first and asked, okay, this is the main problem, I'll tell you. So one by one I addressed it. So that's it. So that's how the challenge is again, how you are taking patient into your direction and asking them to make it comfortable. First you make him comfortable. No, I will not address, I will only address one pain. It's not possible to. You have to address everything. You have to listen to the patient. Patient is a patient. And you lose the patients, it is not, you cannot be a healer. You should be a patient. Impatience, if you are not having patience, then you cannot be a healer, right? So that's one thing which a physiotherapist require it. Shubam,
Right.
Shubam, what happens, I will ask you one thing. If patients want to believe you that you are a good healer, and what is the criteria?
What I should be doing. Okay. So, for gaining the trust of the patient, foremost, I think what I feel is we need to understand the psychology of the patient that who comes, and then before we actually start giving the treatment, we need to educate the patient about the condition. कि आपका condition क्या है? Where is the problem? You have a low back. Okay, teach them because of your ergonomics, you are having this low back pain. Then this slowly start gaining your trust. That's what I feel. That's
wonderful. Okay,
that's my experience. They slowly start. Okay, he has that knowledge. Whoever, like for example, they feel ki chalo, he's educating me about this, and then slowly they gain the trust. After that, it becomes much more easy for a therapist to play them like in a psychological way. For now, they have the trust. When they start the treatment, they will cooperate with you much more effectively.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Good. ఒకటి చెప్తారు, మనస్సును గెలవడం చాలా కష్టం అంటారు. మనసును గెలవడం చాలా కష్టం అంటారు. ఇక్కడ ఫిజియోథెరపీలో మెయిన్ ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే, మెయిన్ ప్రాబ్లం హియర్ ఈస్ యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ మెడిసిన్. యూ హ్యావ్ టు టెల్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ యాజ్ ఎ మెడిసిన్.
Right. That's the challenge.
That is a challenge. The problem is you have to sell your exercise as a treatment technique which should be practiced, otherwise you will not get improvement. So the verbal education
is important.
Verbal education is important. When you was talking, like verbal instructions, right? That is an important thing. So you should have a more communication skills, number one. Like you should more homely, like your voice will be friendly, cordial atmosphere, cardinally. So that is the one way you can capture their attention. Then only you can pass the information.
Right.
It is a mental agility which will come into picture.
Right.
And you cannot be sick. You have to deal with the human mind, so they'll have a lot of questions and answers. which you have to, they'll always make you lose your patience. Remember this. You have to have all the patience with you and to hold your comfort zone and talk.
Right.
That's the beauty.
Totally agree, sir. Like the biggest challenge, as you have mentioned, telling them that exercise is the key, not the taking some medicine,
Yeah.
not the painkillers. Normally, usually people have this mindset. The moment they are having any pain, they take a painkiller, or they now have the knowledge that Dolo 650 also have this painkiller effect. So now they are even taking Dolo 650 not just for the fever, cold. They're also taking it for reducing any kind of pain. That's really shocking. In my experience, I've known people who is taking Dolo 650 just for the pain, and that's really
No, in orthopedics, as I said, it's no medicine. They all works here. My problem is hamstring tightness. Hamstring tightness to be elongated by passive stretch.
right.
I have to put and hold and do it. I cannot put a spray. There's a drainage. You spray on that, the smell will go.
No.
So you are using medicine like a spray, it will not go.
Right.
You have to keep open it. Then only kachra nikal jayega, right? So that's where you need a manual work here. Muscle and skeleton problems, you need a manual work which has to be taught.
Right.
Yeah,
It has to be educated properly.
that's true.
Totally. Yeah, sir. So now let's get to some other field, more interesting field to talk about. You have been very active in terms of doing fitness, exercises, like very rigorous about it. You, and to all the audience who's listening to this podcast, I want to tell you that sir has completed marathons.
Yeah, thank you.
He has
2005 I did a Mumbai marathon.
yes.
I got 76 international rank in that. Yeah,
So he
I
has
am most lovable towards the activity, physical activity. That's true. Mainly running and walking is one of the fantastic.
right.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
How you have your day starts from about as morning as 5:30 and ends at about 10:30. How do you sneak it the time to practice for this kind of big
Yeah.
task like running a marathon or anything like that? Because people just sir, like people give excuses. आज मैं बहुत busy हूँ. My work is so busy. I cannot take out time for doing exercises. But you, on the other hand, you're running marathons and still doing you're having that heavy schedule all throughout your day. How do you manage all this?
See, as you said, everybody has time. And only we have excuses. Who tell me one person who is not having time? For every work, whichever you want, you have time.
Right.
Only thing you are not define it. You save so much time by using your Paytms and ATMs, all these things. And your business is going on, your work is already scheduled. And remaining thing you are enjoying, by using YouTubes or some
Instagram.
all the Instagrams, Facebooks, all. See, I get up at mostly 5 o'clock, 5 to 6:30. I do go for a physical activity. Sometimes I go to swimming also in the morning, 5:40 to 6:40.
No, I think you are doing more swimming, I guess.
Yeah, I'm mixing my schedules. Depends on season, but anyway. But I pick up 1 hour in the morning because my day starts at 7.
Okay.
8:40 I close my morning work and go to job, go to college, and 9 I start there. And again 4:30 I am back. Till 10 I am there. So afterwards whenever I get a holiday, I go for a long walk and run. 3 hours I use. So I don't waste my time. Whenever I get a gap, I go to physical activity. That's my schedule. I define that way. So otherwise, everybody has time. I only see people know there's one statement. Everybody is beautiful. Only laziness makes us ugly. All of them are beautiful. All of them are actually active. Only laziness makes us patients.
Right.
If you define your health with systematically, this is a good thing, do this, and we are lazy, not doing it. That's why we are sick. Yes or no?
Yes. So basically, defining the task is important.
Task.
That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
you
right?
define your task.
We need to define.
It is a self-imposed one. Your parents cannot impose on you. Your teachers also cannot. It is you have to impose. It's completely self-discipline, self-imposed one, which you have to take into.
And I've seen that you motivate a lot of students in your academy as a professor,
Yeah.
and also the patients also. I see you that quality, like you motivate each and everyone. So I want to know the how you keep yourself motivated.
Yeah.
You motivate everybody.
Yeah.
What is like what factor or what are the different aspects that keeps you motivated every day to wake up at that time and sleep around that time and work all throughout the day?
Yeah, that's a good thing. You are asking more spiritual question now. Anyway, because I see life in a different side. My brain, everybody's work, brain, whatever the thing we are calling here, it's meant for thinking. The only function of mind is to think. Remember, I think the way I wanted to think.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing. So I know how to think myself. The thoughts are things. So I define my things based on my thoughts and I fix on that. So I have my controls, what to do, what not to do. So I save my time, energy, so that I can use it better. So I don't, put more into unnecessary interactions, discussions. So a lot of energy is saved. Unnecessary videos are like in fact, I don't have accounts also much.
On Instagram or
Yeah,
anything like
because I have a lot of the energy to my patients, so energy is more important there. So I have to talk with them, speak with them, explain them. So a lot of things are involved. So my energy is required for that. So I spend a lot of time with my patients. So in there, retrospectively, I get energy from them because a lot of positive talks they give and a lot of sharing their pain and their sorrows also sometimes like a pain, relieving the pain, their joy, that also becomes one a kind of energy to you.
Okay.
So when you really involve with passion, you feel more charged actually. You love your profession, you charge more. So I think that's what my secret. So I love what I do.
Do you meditate?
Not exactly. I do meditation work only.
Okay, so work is your meditation.
Yes,
that's what it is.
yes. My patients are my meditation. I work with my patients. So whatever I do with them, whatever every patient is a meditation to me. I give the treatment I am involved with that. I see that everything went well and he's all right. So that's a meditation. I feel it. It's not a meditation sitting in front of something and holding. So your karma you do, that's a meditation. I feel, that's my philosophy. So like that, if you ask me how many hours of you do meditation, not less than 14 hours a day.
Oh.
Yeah, that's karmic meditation. That's my concept.
Okay, that's actually very interesting.
Yes,
Sir. Like,
just sit with your patients. Give in work. No, not only in patient. Even I go to classroom. That 1 hour is my meditation because I am transferring my information to the students, which should go further in generations to come. These students become teachers one day. They also should pass on to others. So that's not a meditation. And I am telling, I am my perspective. People talk meditation different ways. Some people, samskaras will go off with you, sit, breathe and breathe out. Some people talk about prayers. So I'm not talking anything related to that area. You ask me meditation, I see my karmic meditation because prayers are there. I believe in prayers. Whenever I feel down or I feel less energy, I take divine help. That's a prayer which I do it. But my work, as you said, this morely vegan also, it's a kind of meditation I take.
right. So
I hope you got it.
I totally got it. Sir.
Yeah,
I totally
thank
got
you.
It. I totally got it.
Because that's a spiritual topic, so it's not easy to penetrate.
Yeah, let's have another podcast where we actually focus just on the
Yeah,
spiritual
no
aspect.
problem. Welcome.
I hope we have
Yeah.
one more on this. So, any final tips that you want to give it to the youngsters to stay active and how to maintain a very healthy life? Any advice?
Present youngsters, as I see my students, coming budding physiotherapist, you want to talk or general?
Like no, the normal youngsters.
Yeah, youngsters, they should actually define their schedules basically, because this technology is good. I say technology is wonderful if you use it properly.
And through technology only we are having this podcast as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I say, but only thing is, you went to Big Bazaar and everything is free to you. What you'll do?
We'll stuff many things. in the
You
basket.
don't know what to take, but
Right.
everything. If you have a screen there saying that your purse have 1,000 rupees and you can only buy this much, then you can select and do. No?
Yeah, very limited.
Yeah, mobile is like that. Mobile is like a big bazaar. You are entering without.
Without knowing where to.
Yeah,
and
you
what
you
to-
don't have, everything is free there. And you should define what to take, what not to take.
That's a
You
good
should go
example.
with a person, see how much is having it. Your time is your purse here. Involve where to give, what to do. So that's the one thing which a youngster should know. Because your screen reading is always not good. Nowadays textbooks also missing. People are only taking pics and reading in mobiles.
Right.
And that psychological studies also say that screen reading is like 60% of memory than hard paper reading of 80%.
Okay.
And you have a 20% disadvantage of screen reading, and moreover your eyes are focused.
Our screen.
So number one is, as you asked, youngsters required to define the time where the technology should be used properly. And it is a wonderful tool. Without technology we cannot progress. But you should know how much, where, when. That is to be defined. Because the mainstream should not disturb. If you are in a technocrat sitting in the system, okay. But if you are in a medical profession and you are taking a patient and saying WhatsApp and Facebook, is it not going to be? Focus is required. Because concentration is important. Patients come to you with they need your concentration and attention, undivided attention, which is missing. If you see a video, that memory will stay 6 hours. If you see another video, it will take 6 hours. And that memory will affect your patient's screening. That you need to have a fresh memory to a patient.
Right.
So control your emotions, like avoid too many distractions so that you can put more concentration on healing. For healers I am talking about. Then nutrition. Second one is physical activity and nutrition, both should come in. Physical activity should go followed with proper diet. You cannot eat all, every time you go to party, this much, like biryani, sir. Eat, I am appreciating, but see that what you are taking in and what is the energy you are sending out. If you are eating and sleeping, you are becoming a belly, means your waste will control. If you have more waste, that means all the diseases are coming in. Ayurveda says. If your wastage is more, your diseases are coming in. So if you cannot control your waste, what you will control? So you should have a basic knowledge on what to eat, what not to eat. Number one, how much to eat, how much to exercise. That balance, like if you are saying a laddu, somebody gave, and you should see that this is 300 calories or to 150 calories. To burn that you need at least 5 kilometers. You cannot go 5 kilometers, you don't.
Eat laddu.
No. If you want to enjoy it, you do it.
You do it.
You know what I do? I have my controls. When I go to Suprabhat, some hotel in Nampalli side, that side if I go morning, that day I go 1 hour walk extra. Because I want to enjoy the idli and sambar there with one extra upma or something. They have very tasty there. I love that place where to eat the two. When I have a ride that side that day morning, I go extra 1 hour early.
Okay. It's like
So
a
that I burn it so that I can enjoy the food.
it's like a reward system, right? sir?
Yes. Food is like a reward system.
You reward
Wonderful.
your body with food.
Wonderful. The best word you use. Reward. You reward your body by giving it's a currency.
Right.
You take I eat my laddu, I give my 5 hours of workout. 5 kilometers of run.
Walking or run.
Super principle. Otherwise, you are going to be loser.
Right.
Because one thing you remember, the more the waist size increases, even a tailor will not appreciate you. If you go with a stitch a cost blazer, Taylor says that this fellow, the fitness is not there. Why you want all this costly dress on your body? Yes, I had this interaction with a
Okay.
tailor. He was telling, sir, people come with beautiful so clothings,
Hefty bodies.
and what is the fun of using that on that? And that's one point, a tailor's perspective. Another thing I'm saying, when you have more waist size, your body itself feels, you're some kind of constriction, your belt and your blazer, all this are pinching you, and you are a little breathless. You feel it, right?
Right, right.
So that's where youngsters should realize that sitting long hours is not good. Physical activity and nutrition, these two, followed with a good time discipline, which will help you to progress in the life. I think it's okay.
Right, right. Like that's a very good framework for a youngster, like to stay active and to stay healthy. Because what I feel like, especially if you talk about my friends as well, the main key factor that I find is why they are actually not able to get up in the morning and do physical activities, as you have mentioned before, the laziness thing, and they are not actually able to define the activity key. This is actually more important to me than anything else. They are not able to define, as you have correctly said. I got to know this thing today itself. Ki definition of an exercise is also important to a person to know the importance.
Yes, exactly.
Really wonderful, sir. Really wonderful. So I think we need to end
Yeah,
this
that's
podcast
great.
here. This was a wonderful conversation.
Thank
We
you,
got
thank
a
you.
lot of insights about the physiotherapy aspect, as well as the fitness aspect, the health aspect. We got to cover everything, and I hope you enjoyed
Oh,
our
wonderful.
conversation.
Yeah, you are so active guy, man. And in fact, I love you kind of students, so many in my journey. And in fact, you made a big difference as a student also. I really,
Thank you. Thank you
that's
so much,
one thing which I really enthusiastically participated, Actually, I'm not very good at come out with public and talk so much. I don't really
sir. Okay.
take chances, but as you like innovative students come and ask us, I don't say, because this is a progressive purpose.
Right.
So that's the reason why I'm here with you.
Thank you so much, sir. It
Thanks.
means a lot. It means a lot.
Thank you.
And we request you to come to our podcast again, so that we discuss on some other topics like
Anytime.
spiritualism and some more other topics that we'll covering. And thank you once again for for taking out time from your busy schedule and doing this podcast with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys, for listening to this particular episode of Fit with Shubam podcast. I hope you loved our conversation with Dr. Sita Ram, sir. And if you have liked our conversation, please follow us on Spotify and give us a 5-star rating. And also, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And also, you can listen to this podcast on Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and also on Google Podcast. So, until then, stay healthy, stay happy.